Yeah, you just know your spot, don't you? Every week. Every week. And it's not even my child. My child's the noisy one that slams his fist on the ground. All right, well, good morning, everyone. Can somebody tell me what I have here? Yes.
Fishing rod.
It is a fishing rod. What do you do with a fishing rod? What are you trying to do when you take a fishing rod out?
Water.
Yeah, well, you put it in water, and what do you try to do, John?
You catch a fish.
You try to catch a fish with a fishing rod, don't you? Yep. Yep. Now, if you just have a fishing rod and nothing on the end, are you going to catch a whole lot of fish, do you think? No? What do you need to put on the end here in order to catch some fish? Yes, Kim?
Hook.
You need a hook? And what do you put on the hook?
In the fish jar.
Sometimes you put a goldfish cracker?
Yeah.
Maybe. But sometimes if you put if you have your hook, you might put something that's called bait. You ever heard that word, bait?
No.
Bait is something that attracts fish, that makes fish want to chomp down on it. What do fish like to eat? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what fish like to eat?
Eat a shark.
Sharks eat other fish. Fish like to eat worms sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can put little bits of bugs on a hook and fish will eat those. Sometimes you just put a lure, which is something that's not real food, but it looks kind of like a little fish that fish will be attracted to. It's got hooks on it. Maybe sometimes a cracker if you can keep it from getting too soggy. Yep. And maybe sometimes fish like to eat little pieces of bread. Fish like to eat all sorts of things. But if you're going to go fishing, the only way that you're really going to catch a fish is if you put the right stuff on the end, right? You can't just go out there and throw this into the water and expect that any fish is going to just chomp onto it and you're going to catch the fish.
No.
Right? You know, Jesus calls us to catch fish, but not fish. Do you know what Jesus calls us to catch?
To catch the worm.
Jesus says that we are fishers of men. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Jesus says, you are fishers of men.
Like that is
Huh. Well, people. You are fishers of people, Jesus says. Well, that's kind of strange, isn't it? Does Jesus want us to go out into the water and put down a fishing line with a hook on it, and he expects that somebody's going to be swimming underwater and we're going to catch a person?
No.
No, that would be goofy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
When Jesus says that when Jesus says that we are fishers of men, he's not saying that we're going out fishing to catch men so that we can eat them like we do with fish. Jesus says that we are fishers of people in the way that we go out and we try to attract people to become disciples and followers of Jesus. If you're going to go catch somebody for Jesus and you're going to have that person, Jonah, and you're going to have somebody be a believer in Jesus, what do you use to catch that person? Do you know? To catch fish, you use a hook and maybe a worm. What do you use to catch people and make them believers in Jesus? Do you know? Our lesson from Romans that I just read told us, Jonah, our lesson just told us, do you know what you use to catch people?
Fishing rod.
Nope. To catch people, you use God's Word. Jonah.
Baby.
To catch people, you use God's Word. Because it's God's Word that makes people followers of Jesus. And when you tell people about Jesus, then they sometimes when you tell people about Jesus, then they like it. And they chomp down on it and they think it's the greatest thing ever. And people become believers in Jesus because you
That's
used
stupid
the right
stuff.
thing. Will you catch somebody for Jesus if you use
That'd be funny.
cartoons?
No.
Probably not. That's not the right thing.
In cartoons and TV.
Will you catch somebody for Jesus if you use an ABC book? Probably not.
That wouldn't
Will you catch people for Jesus if you use the Bible? Yeah, because the Bible is what tells us about Jesus. And so we go out and we become fishers of men, catching people for Jesus by using his word. All right? You can go back to your chairs now.